This video is going to unravel the order of operations mystery that has been around for quite some time. Oftentimes we just follow that order or an acronym called PEMDAS. But in this video we're actually going to discover the order of operations. And the basis of our video is this figure right here. We basically want to know what the area of this figure is. So one way students may find the area of the figure is to create two separate shapes from that figure, to cut it in half, so to speak, into two shapes they already know how to figure out. And so you can start to see how these shapes are formed. And now we have this square over here, and then we have this rectangle, and we can see those areas. And obviously we're simply just going to have to add those together. We add 25 plus 21, we do get 46. And so what operation do you have to perform first in order to get the answer? Well, obviously we did 5 times 5 first and 7 times 3, and then we added to get the 46. But let's say over here as the counter example, let's say that we just went ahead and just went left to right. We would do great here. 5 times 5 is 25, and then we'd add 7, and that gives us a number of 32, and then we have to multiply by 3, and that gives us 96. So that didn't work, and so we could try other variations of that problem as well. But basically we know that conceptually the only way we can actually do this problem is to multiply first and then add. Now let's go ahead and take another look at this figure. A way another student might look at it is, rather than doing what we just did, they may want to go ahead and build out a larger figure. Imagine that. They went outside the boundary lines. What you weren't supposed to do in kindergarten. Anyway, so they went outside the boundary lines and made a bigger figure. So you can see 5 times 12, this whole thing right here is now 60. But they're being very strategic that they know if that big area is 60, but we can take out that blue area, then all of a sudden we have a figure that looks like this. We've now taken out the blue area, and that blue area is 14. So if this whole figure here was 60 and that one was 14, well, we know we go 60 minus 14, and that answer is, yep, that's going to be 46. So what operation do you have to perform first to get the answer when there's a subtraction sign? Well, guess what? You have to multiply first, and then you're going to subtract. And then again, we could try some other options. Imagine going just to left or right. We had 60. 5 times 12 is 60. We subtract 2. That gives us 58. But then we go 58 times 7. And that's a lot of mental math there, folks. And we're going to be way off. And I'm not even going to attempt to do that one right now. But anyway, we know that that number is just way too big. So basically what we know, folks, is that in order to, if we have problems that have, let's say, a multiplication in it and a subtraction sign in it, or an addition sign, we know that we have to multiply first before we add or subtract. So what could we expect kids to do for practice? Well, perhaps they could actually build out this problem. You know, if they did 6 times 5 and drew this, and then they know that they're going to end up subtracting out of this something like 3 times 4. So then we know in this model they're going to take that out. So now we got 30 minus 12 equals 18. And the only way you can get to that answer of 18 is if you multiply first and then subtract. So there you go, folks. Here's a way that you can show in a conceptual understanding the order of operations and begin to unravel this thing that we call PEMDAS.